Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back again for another video, and this is the FPL transfer tips video for game week 4. This is a series where we recommend you our transfers for game week 4, the players that you be bringing in, players you should be taking out, and also players that you should hold on to and also completely ignore as well. So we will get started into this segment, but before we do, how is everything with you, Jordan?
Yeah, it's all very good, thank you. Hope everyone had a very nice weekend and obviously enjoyed the last match of football for game week 3 yesterday. It was quite, say, a shock to many people, the result and the way the game went. But yeah, we're here to talk about the transfer tips for game week 4.
Yeah, obviously game week 3 is underway, or game week 3 is over now. Game week 4 is upcoming, and yeah, let's just say game week 3 went very, very bad. I am now at 1.2 million my rank currently. So yeah, not great, but it is what it is. We will get into the transfer tips. So yeah, I've got a couple comments coming in. We've got Elliot in the chat. He says, "Hey fellas, hi mate, hope you're doing well."
Hey Elliot.
And then yeah, let's start anyway. Let's bring up the first player on our list to buy, and that is Perisic. Now, Perisic is on our list as a buy because everyone saw what he did in game week 3. He started and he did perform very well. He got the clean sheet and he also got the assist and 3 points bonus. So I do like Perisic. He was on my list as well. But obviously I went with Cucurella instead. Looks like a bad move now, but I think Perisic is the way I should have gone. Obviously, maybe a bit of hindsight. There is slight worries still regarding Perisic, whether he will start, especially that game week 5, which is a midweek game, whether he'll play or not. So that is a slight worry if you are planning to bring Perisic in. But if I'm just talking about Perisic as an option, I think he is a really good option. And I am quite jealous of the Perisic owners that did get the 12-point haul. If you did watch our deadline stream, I did mention Perisic as a potential to go crazy this week. So if you had Perisic, congrats on the points. And yeah, but I do believe he's a buy. I was watching the game against Wolves, and Perisic, the reason I like him, I think he plays quite high up. If you look at his heat map, he's always involved in that left channel. And he's very advanced. He takes set pieces as well sometimes. So I'm a fan of Perisic, and I think he could be one that you should be looking to bring in, especially at his price. He's gone back up to 5.5 million. His ownership has just crept above 19% as well. You look at his XG, his expected assists per 90 at 1.01. I know he's only played 3 games or 2 off the bench, but stats look good. His heat map looks good as well. He's involved in all attacking phases. He gets very advanced when Tottenham do attack. Tottenham weren't great on the weekend, but the second half they did play better. And you look at Tottenham's fixtures. Game week 4, they've got Nottingham Forest, which looks like a good game if Perisic does play. West Ham, I don't think West Ham is the hardest fixture. Obviously, West Ham are struggling currently, so that could be a decent game as well for Perisic if he starts. And Fulham in game week 6 also looks really good. So for the next 3, Perisic does look really good in my opinion. We also got Never Give Up FPL here, who says, "Hi lads," and Sherwin says, "Is rotation something of the past now?" Well, I've got to speak about rotation when it comes to Perisic. I believe it's not. I'm still worried that you will get slight rotation with Perisic. I don't believe he's completely nailed to start every game now. I wouldn't go that far. There is a still issue with Perisic regarding, like Never Give Up FPL says here, regarding his if he plays. That's the question. And that's always a question with Perisic. But if you're willing to take that risk, as you saw on the weekend, what he is capable of doing when he does play, he can get double-digit hauls. All he needs is an assist and a clean sheet. And there you go. He's got the double-digit assist and haul. Nottingham Forest, it looks like a good fixture to me. That he's definitely one on my watch list personally. I'm probably not going to bring him in myself just because I can't really fit him into my team at the moment unless I take out a Reece James. But if you are looking for a defender at that around that 5.5 million price bracket, I think Perisic is definitely one you guys should be looking at. Or what do you think, Jordan? And what's your views on Perisic?
Perisic, he's I don't know if it would be more attractive for Perisic if he was a nailed player for Spurs, obviously. But because of Perisic comes off the bench, as we've seen twice, even though he has done that, he has also made an impact on Spurs when he has come on the pitch, especially with the 2 assists to back him as well. It's not bad statistically because he has better stats than, let's say, other defenders that are more expensive. And with him being 5.5 mil, it's also a bargain for the quality that Perisic has. And also, he has worked with Conte in the past as manager. So there is that manager to play a connection to. So even though Perisic might not play a lot of minutes some games, he still has the potential to impact in the games, even if he doesn't play the full 90. So if he comes on for 30 minutes, he has potential to get an assist or maybe a goal. So he has got the experience to do well, even if he doesn't play 90 minutes. And he is a valued asset for Spurs just to have as a, let's say, if they're struggling, as we did see at the weekend, that Spurs were in a bit of an issue in the first half. And then when Perisic came on, it looked a bit more comfortable for Spurs.
Oh no, when you mean he took the corner, obviously he started the game.
Oh yeah, sorry, when he started the game, yeah. So it did improve throughout the game when he did start in that game, comparatively to the other fixtures that they had beforehand. But yeah, I would say he's definitely a buy, especially with that 12-point haul to back up his performance in that full 90 minutes that he played. So yeah, I do definitely agree that he's definitely a buy, especially with the fixtures like Nottingham Forest away coming up. We would assume he starts in that game. Fingers crossed for those who have Perisic and those who are thinking to buy him as well. That would be a great fixture for him to start in. I do think he'll do well, and you could say Spurs get a clean sheet easily. I'll say in that game. If they can hold up the defense well, and also there's a bonus if Perisic gets an assist or a goal, and you can expect also a bonus points for Perisic too. So yeah, that for me, I do think Perisic is a good buy for this game week, and with just his price rise as well, he's back to 5.5 mil, so you're not really losing out on the price at the moment because he hasn't risen above his given price.
Yeah.
His ownership is obviously creeping up. I think he's above 20 now since we've done this. Since I've done this graphic, he's above 20% now. So he is rising in ownership, and he will throughout this week. So yeah, I expect him to rise very soon.
Yeah, if you've got Perisic, he's definitely a hold. Like, if you have him, I wouldn't be transferring him out. I'll just play him for game week 4, and hope he returns again. If you don't have him, then there's a question here from put to us by Sherwin. He says he's definitely a bargain. Is he worth a -4? Now, I don't know if he's worth a -4 just because if you bring him in for a hit and then he doesn't play, you might be a bit annoyed if he doesn't start. You have to bring him in with when you bring in a player like Perisic, you have to take the slight risk that he might get benched for one of those games, especially against even that West Ham game. It is a midweek game, I believe, so he could miss out. So as long as you're okay with him getting benched, maybe in the next 3 games, if he gets one benching and he plays against Fulham and West Ham or even Nottingham, is one of those things you'll have to take into consideration when you do bring him in. But he's that high risk, kind of high reward, kind of player. His expected minutes maybe aren't as good as the other players, but he's easily can rack up points for you. So he's definitely one on our list, and he's the first buy as well, guys. So Perisic is the first player on the list. Now let's move on to the second player that we recommend that you buy for game week 4, and that is Tony. Now Brentford's Tony. So he's played 3 appearances, obviously, this season. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists. His expected goals per 90 is at 0.3, and his expected assists per 90 is at 0.47. So numbers look quite good. We know Brentford have started the season very, very well. And then you look at Brentford's next five. They've got Everton at home, Palace away, Leeds at home, Southampton away, and then Arsenal in game week 8. So you say for the next four fixtures, Tony looks very, very good, and his price is now 7.2 million. So he has risen in price. His ownership still isn't too high. 15.5% is still fairly low, I'd say. So he's a bit of a differential. And I like Tony a lot. I think if you are looking for a striker, maybe you've got money after downgrading Darwin or someone like that, you've got money to play with, and Tony is definitely one that I'm looking at. Maybe not for my team, because I plan to play with two up front, because I've got the five at the back. If you're looking to bring in a forward, I think Tony should definitely be at the top of your list regarding strikers for game week 4. The Everton fixture looks quite good as well, because we know Everton are struggling, and I can definitely see him get something in that game. And then the Palace looks quite decent. Leeds, Southampton, all fixtures. There's no reason why Tony can't return, let's say, in the next 4. His assists, obviously, are 2 assists, so he does create goals as well, and he scores. And he's on penalties, so I do like him a lot. What's your thoughts, Jordan, on Tony and then Brentford in general, and especially with the fixtures they have coming up? Is he someone that you're interested in?
Oh yeah, Tony is a machine at the moment. I mean, with 3 appearances, he's already got 2 goals and 2 assists. And even in games which Brentford don't look like they're going to win, you can still expect Tony to return in those matches, and he has. Especially in that Fulham game, it was a end-to-end match, and obviously it looked like Brentford were not in a good spot to win that game. But obviously Tony turns up and scores, as we did see in that game, and then, well, here we are. But those who brought in Tony, he was highly transferred in for that game week 3 as well. So a lot of people did. It did pay off for their transfer, bringing Tony in for that game week 3. So well done for those who did get Tony at that price as well. He was a bit cheaper when you did get him in. I think he was 7.1 before the price rise. But yeah, with Brentford's fixtures, you would expect Tony to, his statistic-wise, get a lot of goals and assists with these upcoming fixtures. With Everton home, then maybe Crystal Palace away can nick a goal. I say definitely against Leeds home, and then struggling in Southampton, which look a bit better this season, but there is that potential for Tony to still score with Southampton's defence. And then obviously they got Arsenal at home, which I don't really see that happening with Tony. But you could say the game week 4 to game week 7 fixtures, you could see a lot of action from Tony in those, and especially with his ownership as well. It's, even though it's on the rise, 15.5%, he's going to be creeping into that almost 20% mark, I'll say, if he does get a good return from Everton home. And with his price just gone up as well, 7.2, he is expected to rise anytime soon. So you are safe to not bring him in until nearer the deadline for game week 4. So you can hold on to that transfer for Tony if you're not worried about the price rise. But yeah, I do think he is a good pick, because there's not many teams that have great fixtures like that besides Arsenal that have those streak of greens. So yeah, definitely Tony is a buy. I would have personally had him in my team if I could afford him at 7.2 mil, but unfortunately, the way my team's set up, I can't. So if you can fit Tony in your team, then yeah, I'll definitely buy him.
So I'm guessing you agree. Obviously, both of us are on this one, and we agree. I think Tony is definitely one that we'd both be looking at to bring in. I like his fixtures. I like the way he's playing. I like the way Brentford are playing, and they've impressed me a lot. Especially last week as well against Man United, they look very good, and I think the points he'll carry on ticking along and getting the points, in my opinion. So yeah, that's the opinion. So first 2 buys are out the way. Let's now move on to some players that we should be getting rid of, that we should sell. And then the first one on our list is Chelsea's Mason Mount. Now, Mount has played 3 times this season. He's got no goals and no assists. His expected goals per 90, 0.17. And also his expected assists per 90 as a 0.09. So his numbers don't look great. He has had a price drop. He's now 7.9 million. Obviously, Chelsea did get, battered on the weekend against Leeds. Leeds with a comfortable 3-0 victory. And Mason Mount was very poor in that game. It's quite disappointing. Obviously, Mason Mount was one of those 8 million midfielders. and I think he's definitely one that I think you could get rid of now, and upgrade somewhere else or use the money somewhere else in your team. I think he has struggled slightly this season to get involved in the goals and assists. And you look at the next fixtures. Okay, the fixtures don't look too bad if we're being honest. Leicester at home, Southampton away, West Ham at home, and Fulham away. But Mason Mount has been put on our list just because we feel like there's other players, around that price range. Even Rodrigo at Leeds. If you want to stay around that same price, Luis Diaz at Liverpool. There's Phil Foden at Man City. Um, there's Saka if you want to go Martinelli. There's just so many options around that price bracket where I feel like Mason Mount, if you do have him and you are beginning to lose patience with him, I do understand why. If I had him, I'd definitely be looking to get rid of him. Now, that's not to say he can't score against Leicester or Southampton. He definitely can. It's just I think there's better options out there. Would you agree with me, Jordan?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty disappointed with Chelsea's midfield. I think not just Mason Mount, but with Kai Havertz, Sterling, they haven't done nothing in the midfield for Chelsea. They've been like Casper the Ghost. I've not really seen Mason Mount in games, if I'm honest. It's just been non-involvement. It's pretty much been mostly Reece James and Cucurella, mostly if in those games that I've really noticed players-wise in Chelsea. And then obviously Koulibaly.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else in Chelsea just seems non-existent. And Mason Mount, with no goals, no assists, and 3 appearances, that's very bad. I expect much better from Chelsea, especially from Mason Mount. And I'm so glad I didn't even get a Chelsea player in because I'm still hesitant to bring in Reece James as I did last game week.
Yeah.
But with Mason Mount, it's just been a complete letdown. And I'm not surprised that people are obviously selling him, and his ownership is, well, as you can see, it's 7.2%, and it is still dropping. And he did have a price drop as well, so he's no longer an 8 million midfielder, which is no surprise. He's 7.9. So with that in mind, statistically, and with the price and the way Chelsea are playing, I still think Mason Mount is a wait and see if you haven't brought him in. But if you have, I'll definitely be selling him at this point. Because as Huss said, there is many more opportunity players that you could go for that are cheaper as well. I just think for that price and the quality of Mason Mount and Chelsea at the moment is not up to scratch, and especially with their fixtures. They have really good fixtures and until up to game week 7. So I wouldn't be holding on to them
Yeah.
until I see improvements. That's pretty much what I have to say about Mason Mount for that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He's definitely one that we would be selling if we had him. As all sports fan Adam also says, Mount's done nothing all season. Barely noticed him in any game. I think there's not many Mount, anyone out there really that's saying we should keep Mount. But also, guys, I just want to say if you are just joining in now to the stream, please do drop a like on the video. Do drop a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're very, very close to 400 subs. I keep saying that all the time. But yeah, do drop a like. It really helps us out. Yeah, let's obviously we're speaking about Mount right now and Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea haven't been too impressive. They played well against Tottenham, but they did lack that goal scoring, focal point up front. And they do struggle for goals, Chelsea. So I'll probably get off Mount if I'm being honest. So yeah, guys, that is the next player that we recommend that you sell. So numbers don't look good. Chelsea's fixtures turning slightly. I think he's one that's quite obvious. But yeah, let's move on now to the next player that we recommend that you could sell, and that is Nico Williams. Now, this might raise some eyebrows because he's cheap. He's only 4 million. He's due a price rise. So maybe you're wondering why have we recommended you sell Nico Williams? Now, the reason he's on this list is because he's got no goals, no assists this season. Obviously, he's a 4 million defender, so we don't expect too much from him. His underlying numbers ain't too bad, if we're being honest. His expected assists per 90 is 0.23. But the reason we'd be selling him potentially is because, in the next 2, he's got Tottenham and Man City. Now, maybe he's not a sell if you can afford to bench him. And if he's your bench player, you can just keep him and bench him and play someone else for those 2 games. But Tottenham's a tough game. And in Man City, we know it's a very tough game. So in the next 2, I don't anticipate Nico Williams getting a clean sheet or even a goal or an assist. I don't really see him getting any returns in the next two. After that, it does look better. He's got Bournemouth, Leeds, and Fulham, so his fixtures do look very good after 6. maybe you can get rid of him and then bring in someone like a Perisic for the next 2 game weeks if you can stretch the money, or even a Kukurea if you guys are still interested in the Chelsea defense. Maybe there's not too many fans keen on that Chelsea defense at the moment, but I still think Chelsea's defense is decent going forward. I know they conceded 3, so maybe you can bring in like a Kukurea at 5 million, or even an Arsenal defender. Saliba is at 4.6 million, so you could upgrade Nico for those 2 weeks and then bring him back if you want to. But for us, he's just a sell because I think, as you saw with my team and Jordan's team, but we've decided to go with 5 at the back because I think that's where the value is this season with the defenders. I know this week wasn't a great example, but I still believe going forward, defenders will still carry on getting you the points. So if you move your money into the defense, maybe you don't need cheap defenders. You can have Saliba, you can have a Zinchenko, even a Kieran Trippier. There's loads of defenders around that 4.5 to 5 million mark that will get you points. Even Brighton, Lewis Dunk. I think Nico Williams could be a sell. Now, like I said, if you've got the luxury of benching him, that's fine by me. I think it's a decent decision as well. So, yeah, what would you make of Nico, Jordan, anyway? If you look at the next 2 fixtures in Game Week 4 and 5, what would you say?
Yeah, I think for Nico Williams to be a sell as well, if for us for having 5 at the back, I mean, with 5 at the back, we have to include Nico Williams in our team pretty much, unless we have like a good playing bench player to replace him with. But with Nico Williams being a sell, I mean, you can obviously sell him if you especially have extra funds in your bank, especially to upgrade Nico Williams as he is 4 million. And also, by the way, he is rising in price tonight. For those who are wondering, he will be 4.1 mil after obviously today. His ownership is over 30% too. But despite that, I mean, you can sell him still if you don't want him to feature in Tottenham and Man City. I'll say this is only for the people that can't really get rid of Nico Williams in terms of the starting 11 and or bench him. But if you want to sell him, upgrade him, then yeah, he's definitely a good player to do it. Obviously, with Game Week 4 and Game Week 5, not the Forest aren't really expect to keep a clean sheet against Spurs or Man City. I'll be very shocked. I'll be more shocked than the result than yesterday's result. But yeah, with Nico Williams, I say it's a no-brainer sell, especially with those fixtures, and we have to also.
Sorry, the thing I will just add very quickly, I think Nico Williams is a sell if you plan to play 5 at the back. If you plan to play 4 at the back, you can just bench him. So it's more towards if you're looking to play 5 at the back, which does seem very template and popular now. A lot of managers are moving to 5 at the back. If you're going to play 5 at the back, I think he's an easy sell for me. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I would definitely want to upgrade Nico Williams if with my 5 at the back, definitely to someone with better fixtures and more attacking threat. Even though Nico Williams has attacking threat, but yeah.
Yeah, we've got some comments here from Sherwin. Says Brighton defense with their good fixtures. FPL Boo Boo says may sell after the price rise. Yeah, you can do. Also, Krogsberg does also say that 4 million is either Patterson or Williams. It's good to have those players benched. Yeah, I agree. That's what I've said. If you play 4-3-3 or with a 4 at the back 4, then he's fine to just bench. But if you're playing a back 5 and you need a starting defender every week, he's definitely one that I probably wouldn't want to have for the next 2, personally, as a back 5. But yeah, that is our thoughts on Nico Williams. Also got FPL Penguin that's joined the chat. He says congrats on reaching 400 subs. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, just realized we've hit over 400 subs. So thank you for everyone that has subscribed to our channel. And also, guys, please do drop a like on the video if you are just joining. That will really appreciate your support. So yeah, do drop a like and also subscribe if you are new to the channel. But yeah, let's get back to what we were saying. So yeah, Nico, for us, just for the hard fixtures for the next 2, and the fact that a lot of managers are playing 5 at the back, we probably would get rid. Krosberg also says, if anything, those 3 game weeks prove was not getting big at the back. I mean, the first 2 game weeks were pretty good for me. The first 2 game weeks, Man City clean sheets. I know Liverpool didn't keep a clean sheet, but Man City did keep 2 clean sheets, and Chelsea also kept one, I believe, in the game week 1. So I do believe. I know this week is hard to justify big at the back because when Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea all concede in the same week and don't win. But I don't think that will happen very often. You're not going to
No.
get many weeks when all three of those teams don't win. Like I think is more exception to the rule. I think
Yeah.
majority weeks, you'd expect one of those teams to at least win. I think this week is just a kind of a freak week, really, where every top team just underperformed. And I don't believe that will carry on. I'm obviously open to being proven wrong, but we'll see.
Yeah. Also,
Um,
just one more thing as well with Game Week 3, because of the way the template teams are set up at the moment. All the fixtures are pretty much switched to either home or away. And in Game Week 3, all fixtures were pretty much away for most people. And
mm,
obviously, that impacted the way the game week was in terms of results for most. I know it was proper below average for away fixtures for even for top teams, but because of all the away fixtures, always the home teams will always be beneficial over that, especially with the crowd behind them.
yeah, obviously that is a good point because I think a lot of our players this week had away fixtures, and obviously, if you there are some managers that do like to take into account home and away fixtures. I'm not as keen on that, but I know there are a lot of managers that do look into that. But yeah, we will move on to the next set of players. So the next player on our list that we recommend that you should hold on to, and the first one is Reece James. That we think he's still a hold, and I will be coming on to why. So Reece James has played 3 times this season. He has got 1 goal, no assists. His numbers are still fairly low. His expected goals per 90 at 0.16 and his expected assists per 90 at 0.12. The reason for me why he's a hold is because his fixtures aren't too bad in a defensive point of view. And everyone knows I'm not the biggest fan of Chelsea's attack at the moment, but regardless of them conceding 3 against Leeds, I still think they're a decent defensive unit. I know Koulibaly's been sent off as well, so we'll have to wait and see how they are affected by that red card. But Leicester at home, Southampton away, West Ham at home, Fulham away. I still think Chelsea can get at least 2 clean sheets, maybe more in that next 4. So for me, Reece James is still a hold. And also, with Reece James, he's more than just the clean sheets. He can get assists. He can get a goal as he saw against Tottenham. I also want to, obviously, we've got to address this. He's playing right centre back though. Yeah, this is a worry. Obviously, he did play right centre back, but towards the end of the game, near the end, he did move to the right wing back again, and he did start looking a lot better. So it's more hoping that he becomes a right wing back. With the red card, I don't know if that makes it better or worse. Probably worse because he'll have to play right centre back, and Azpilicueta might come in. It is a slight worry that he's playing right centre back, but for me, James is still a hold for my team. I just think he's underpriced. At 6.1 million for a defender that does get that many. He's such an attacking threat when he does get up there. And as we see, with All Sports fan Adam's comment, he says James had another decent shot saved last game. If Tuchel plays him at wing back, he's gold still. Yeah, and that is what we're us James owners are always holding on to, because we know when he does play as a right wing back, there's not many better than him in that league. He does get similar numbers to Trent when he is playing in that right wing back role. And for me, if you have James, he has been transferred out a lot, which obviously we see after the 3-0, but I think it's still way too early. I think it's a bit knee jerky to get rid of him. I think you've got to hold him if you have him. I know his ownership's come down slightly, but he's still very highly owned. Fixtures aren't bad. Yeah, we know what he could do. What's your thoughts on Jordan? Obviously, you're not impressed with James. You just brought him in and he conceded 3 goals. So,
Yeah.
what's your plans?
Especially, well, just before I mention it, especially because I got rid of Trippier and he got a 6-pointer against Man City. That was even more annoying. Obviously we've got back on the subject of Reece James. It was disappointing. It was shocking that Chelsea lost 3-0 in all overall, and then it was even more annoying that Tuchel is playing Reece James in the right centre back position. I mean, I don't know why he wants to play him in that position. I'll never know. He prefers right wing back. We clearly saw that when he scored that goal. Straight away, as soon as he went into that position, he was instant return. So if he can't see that, then I don't know what what Tuchel is thinking with Reece James. But fingers crossed, he has enlightenment and puts Reece James in that right wing back position, and then obviously he becomes more attractive. But because of Koulibaly's injury, we don't know where he will be playing. Probably right centre back now. But once he's back, hopefully, I don't know what his plan for Reece James, but yeah, you definitely want to hold on to him, despite his ownership decreasing because of that. That makes sense because they did lose 3-0, but again, you
Mm,
got to have faith in these type of players like Reece James. He is a quality player when he's in the right position and gets going, as we've seen. But you got to give him a chance. I mean, I have to give him a chance because I've just brought him in myself. So
yeah.
I'm not in any position to get rid of him yet. And he's a nailed attacking threat for Chelsea. I mean, you could go for other ones like Cucurella, but there's always that rotation risk with him. So definitely Reece James is a hold, especially with the
Mm,
fixtures as well. They're still great for Chelsea. It does swing when it gets to game week 8 when they have Liverpool, but for the time being, I'll be holding on to James, and you guys should be holding on to James,
yeah.
especially with his ownership. Even though it's dropped, he's still over 40% owned. And as I felt it before I owned Reece James, it hurt my rank when I didn't have him and he did return. So think about that. Well, if you're thinking of transferring him out, but if not, just hold on to him. His price
Mm,
is settled at 6.1 mil, so he's not rising, he's not decreasing. So it's a good time to hold on to this player.
yeah, yeah. I'd agree. He's definitely a hold for me this week. Just letting anyone know for my transfer plans. Also, guys, we've had a few questions come in regarding player transfers and who should people buy and sell. I'm not ignoring anyone. I will get to every comment at the end of the stream. We're just going to get through these players first, and then I'll come on to any comments that I've missed. So I'm not ignoring anyone. So just bear with us for a sec, guys. We appreciate every comment. But yeah, let's move on now. So James is an easy hold for us, but for both of us, I think you've got to be patient with him. Now let's move on to the next player that we recommend that you should hold, and that is another right back, and that's Liverpool's Trent Alexander-Arnold. We know Trent didn't cover himself in glory last night. For anyone that did watch the game against Man United, Liverpool did lose 2-1. They conceded first again. That is now 7 games, I believe, where Liverpool have conceded the first goal in the Premier League. So not looking great, if I'm being honest, as a Liverpool fan. But I still think you have to keep the faith with Trent. He had a few transfers out. He hasn't got any goals or any assists this season so far. His numbers, his underlying numbers don't look great, if we're being honest. 0.07 expected goals per 90, and his assist, not his expected assist also, numbers wise, 0.16 um isn't good. Isn't what we expect from someone like Trent. We know what he could do, and he's not hit the heights that we expect from him. But saying all that, game week 4, Bournemouth at Anfield, surely Trent has a hole in him, or a clean sheet. Can Liverpool keep a clean sheet against Bournemouth? If they can't, I do worry as a Liverpool fan myself, going forward, because you look at the fixtures. Bournemouth, I would say, is a good fixture for Trent. Newcastle, I think that could be a tough game because you saw what Newcastle could do against Man City. That ain't going to be an easy game for Liverpool. So maybe they don't keep a clean sheet in that. Everton, Wolves, and then we know after game week 8, there is the fixture swing where you could potentially get rid of your triple Liverpool. But for now, Bournemouth at home, you have to keep Trent. I don't think you should be getting rid of him in that game. If Liverpool concede again and lose, let's say, to Bournemouth, then I'd be open to maybe that suggestion, potentially selling Trent. But I think Bournemouth is just such a good fixture that I wouldn't be getting rid of Trent. He's Liverpool. I know they haven't been great this season. They haven't won a game, but I think Bournemouth is a game where Liverpool get back into winning ways. They need their first win, and I think it's the one where they will carry on that the mantle and get their first win against Bournemouth. If they don't, I think it's looking bad for some Liverpool assets. Let's just say that. But what's your thoughts on Trent Jordan? Are you holding him for Bournemouth because it is a good fixture if we look at it on paper, regardless of Liverpool's current form?
Oh yeah, I'll be definitely holding on to Trent. And I'm sort of shocked that people are actually selling Trent and his ownership is dropping because of that Bournemouth home fixture. It means they have no faith in Liverpool, and you can't have no faith in Liverpool over Bournemouth home. just because they've lost, well, not lost, but draw two and lost one game, they're going to bounce back. It's Liverpool. We've seen them in the past have a terrible game, but then straight after that, they've come back fighting with all guns blazing and win like 4-3-0 comfortably. So I just think it's a one-off from Liverpool. I know this season they haven't started off the greatest, but some teams are like that at the start of the season, then suddenly they go back to winning form, and Liverpool have obviously the potential to do that, especially with Trent, who's underperforming at the moment due to as you can see by the XG stats, should be much higher for Trent at this current stage. But I do think that Bournemouth home fixture will boost all Liverpool fans, especially at Anfield Stadium. They've got the crowd behind them, as I said before. Because of the home fixture, the crowd is behind the players. Liverpool are going to bounce back easily against Bournemouth, who have been struggling also. They're not been doing great in the newly promoted team. So it's going to be a headache for them against Liverpool home. It's going to be stressful. And Liverpool should find comfortability and stability in the team after that defeat against Man
You
United.
hope so.
I kind of do see it, despite I'm a Man United fan. I do believe that Liverpool will obviously bounce back in that fixture. I mean, it's you can't get an easier fixture than Bournemouth home. And
That's what
for
I was
Liverpool,
thinking. That was my thinking regarding Liverpool and Liverpool
yeah,
assets. I just think Bournemouth at home is probably, would you say, one of the easiest fixtures to play right now. They've just got beat. They got beat by Arsenal very badly. I think 4-0 was it, or 3-0. Man City put 4 past them. If Liverpool can't put 3 or 4 past them, then maybe we have that talk about Liverpool assets the week after. If they don't,
yeah,
if they look very nervy and shaky, and against Bournemouth, then this discussion will change. But for now, you've got to give that Trent a go, and Salah is potentially captain worthy as well for me in game week 4. So that is the view on Trent and Liverpool at the moment. He's definitely a hold, and we wouldn't be getting rid of him yet. So yeah, let's move on now to the next player on our list, and these players are ignores for us. So these ones you can just forget about this game week. Maybe controversial picks on this one, but yeah, let's get in it. Just going to read a few comments out, Jordan. We've got Krogsberg. He says, Trent, I agree to hold. He's still the best defender. Yes, of course, he didn't do well these 3 game weeks, but it's a huge mistake to transfer him out. I echo these sentiments as well. I completely agree with this one. All sports fan Adam also says, hold all Liverpool assets, but I'd be worried about Robbo, though. Look pretty laboured, and Tsimikas is around. That's very true as well. If I had Robbo, I probably would be tempted to sell because I wouldn't be a fan of having Liverpool double defense at the moment, the way they're playing. I think Liverpool's defense isn't good enough at the moment to have 2 Liverpool defenders. So I definitely believe you can sell one, and that probably will be Robbo. So yeah, I agree.
yeah.
So yeah, let's move on, as we said, to the next player. And these are the ignores, and we have to put someone on the list, and we've chosen with a controversial one, maybe to some people, and that is Wilfred Zaha. Now, people might think, he just scored 2 goals. Why is he on this list? Well, that's because Man City game week 4 is the reason why. Now, I think if you're planning on bringing Zaha in, I don't think it's a bad transfer. Let me just put that out there. If you want to bring him in, I don't think it's a bad move, but I would wait till next week. I'd let him play against Man City and then bring him in for game week 5. I wouldn't be bringing him in to play Man City personally. That's why he's on the ignore. So he's not an ignore for the season. He's literally ignore for this week because he's got Man City away at Etihad. So that's the thinking behind that. So he's got 3 goals in 3 games. His numbers look very, very good as well, if we're being honest. His expected goals per 90 at 0.73, and his expected assists also at 0.37. So his underlying numbers are very good. He's 7 million as well price. He is due to rise, I believe. His ownership is still very low, 10.3%. I think that has gone up slightly. But maybe this one is a bit of a clickbait where Zaha is an ignore for this week, but not for the game week 5, because you've got Brentford, Newcastle, Man United, Brighton. Now, the problem is a lot of us have Luis Diaz, so a lot of us have 5 at the back, so it's very hard to get someone like Zaha in. You have to rip up the whole structure of your team, so that's another worry with someone like Zaha. You're gonna have to compromise the total structure of your team, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of getting rid of my back 5 to bring in Zaha for a few weeks. I still believe he's a good asset though, especially from game week 5 onwards. My worry is, should we really be bringing Zaha in for Man City, Jordan? What do you make of it?
Oh, well, base. Well, just let me clarify. But the 7 million price has risen. He is 7.1 now currently. Which explains what we're about to explain now. I do think he is ignored because of that price rise being 1 point, because you don't have to worry about him rising at the moment for up to leading up to game week 4. So there is no rush if you do want to consider bringing Zaha in for that Man City fixture, but you have to be very brave for that. I mean, I won't be too shocked if he does, but get anything. But just for the sake of this video, he is an ignore just for that fixture in game week 4 for Man City and Crystal Palace. It's going to be very difficult for Zaha and the team itself. And his ownership as well is considerably low. I mean, it has risen a bit since this graphic was made, but he's over 10% owned now, which isn't that high. I mean, you could say Zaha's been underlooked in terms
Yeah, oh,
of
yeah.
fantasy very much, especially with the 3 goals he has scored this so far this season with 3 appearances. That's a fantastic statistic. And his XG is pretty high for a 90, 0.73, which is incredible. He's almost expected to score a goal every game almost. At this rate, if he still keeps scoring goals, then yeah, his XG is going to keep going up and up and be more attractive. But yeah, I do think for this game week, just for game week's sake, he is an ignore. But just after that, you can do whatever you want. You can bring him in, you can or hold on to him if you do have him already. But yeah, just for the sake of this game week 4, he's an ignore, and I think that's pretty all much said about Zaha.
Yeah, I like Zaha. He's like all sports fan. Adam also says here again, Zaha is a streaky player. Every time I bring him in on Sky Fantasy or other formats, he then blanks for weeks after a hot spell. Yeah, he's one of those players. He's very hot and cold. When he's on it, he can get you 2 goals and an assist in the same game. But then he's also that type of player that can go 3 games or 4 games, 5 games without a return, and then you transfer him out, he gets a brace. He's that type of player, which is a bit frustrating for FPL managers, and that's the reason why I don't plan on bringing him in yet. That might change, but if you do like a spicy differential, he's definitely at the, if you're looking at differentials, he's up on my list for sure. Let's move on now to the last player that we recommend that you ignore for the game week, and it might be another controversial one, and that is Odegaard. Now, the sole reason he's on this list isn't because he's a bad pick. That's not why he's on the list. So I will get into it. So obviously he's got 3 appearances this season. He's also scored 2 goals. Hasn't got any assists. His expected goals per 90 was also at 0.35, and his expected assists per 90 0.02. Now the reason he's on this list is because I'm assuming you already have Jesus, and I'm assuming you already have Martinelli. Those two. So if I had to bring in a third Arsenal player with a triple up, I'm assuming you wouldn't want an Odegaard who is priced at 6.4 now. I think you're better off going with a defender like Saliba and saving the money, or Zinchenko, or even a Ramsdale if you have him. So he wouldn't be. I just think he's going to block an Arsenal spot for you. That's the only reason he's in ignore for me. And like we know, guys, he has had a lot of transfers in because on the weekend he did score 2 goals. So you're going to get that a lot in FPL, especially these early weeks when there's a lot of active managers. A lot of, I hate to say it, but casual players are, when they see a player score 2 goals, they're automatically going to be drawn into them. But what people have to realize is, you're not going to get those points. You've kind of missed them already. You have to look at the next couple fixtures and who's more likely to score. Now, he isn't a bad pick at all. But like I said, if you're looking for a triple up on Arsenal, Jesus, Martinelli, and maybe a defender is the way I'd go. Triple attack. I know Arsenal, you can't really. They're looking very, very good, if we're being honest, though. Game week 4 as well, they got Fulham, they got Villa. Man United could be a slightly tough at Old Trafford, and then Everton and Brentford. So there's nothing wrong with Odegaard. It's just I think you are blocking a triple Arsenal when you've already got Jesus and Martinelli, and you may want a defender for those clean sheets as well. And 6.4, I mean, he's a similar price to Martinelli. So if you had to pick between Martinelli and Odegaard, I'm definitely going Martinelli, personally. That's just my opinion. What do you make of it, Jordan?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with Odegaard getting the 2 goals against Bournemouth, this raises an interesting point because with Fulham at home next, maybe Odegaard is considered to get a return in that, but that's only the reason because I do think he's more involved with teams like newly promoted teams, as we saw in Bournemouth. I do think he'll be less consistent and returns in like to get the teams that are already in the Premier League already, like Aston Villa or Man United, Everton, like Brentford. These type of teams, it'll be more of a challenge for other players to get involved. I feel like with Fulham, Bournemouth, newly promoted teams, you will see other players like Odegaard have more, let's say, more of the ball and more opportunities to get a return in. And it feels like Odegaard is one of those type of players because we have seen it with Man City where we see other players score in easy fixtures where they were against Bournemouth too, which we don't really own because we don't really see them as a player that we'll most likely see a lot of returns from in comparison, let's say, to Martinelli, who has got way more
Yeah,
returns than Odegaard, but he's been involved in more matches which haven't been against newly promoted teams. We've seen him score and return in teams that have already been in the Premier League, whereas Odegaard has scored only 2 goals against Bournemouth so far in these 3 appearances in comparison.
yeah,
So you have to expect Odegaard not to do it every week against every team. He might do it again against Fulham home, but I don't expect him to do it against Aston Villa or Man United. I just feel like he's one of those
mm,
players that flurries in one match and then he'll go quiet for quite a few.
yeah. I hear what you're saying. I mean, yeah, at that price bracket, we have to also take that into consideration. He is 6.4 now, so I think he's the same price as Martinelli. And if I had to pick between Odegaard and Martinelli, I think it's Martinelli all day long, just because he is involved more in the attack and play. I feel in terms of goals and assists, um, as we've seen from Arsenal's first 3 fixtures. But Odegaard's a good player, so we're not knocking the player there. But yeah, for us, we'd definitely go Martinelli over Odegaard and Jesus as well, and maybe a Ben White, not a Ben White, sorry, a Saliba or a Ramsdale, or also who's the other one, Zinchenko. So I'll probably go with Zinchenko potentially over Odegaard as well. So that's just my opinion. Let us know what you guys do think of our list. So I'm going to quickly recap the players. So let's just go off the top. So the 2 players that we recommend that you bring in for game week 4 is Perisic and Tony. The 2 players that we recommend that you sell this week are Mount and Nico Williams. The 2 players that we recommend they should hold on to if you already have, that is Reece James and Trent Alexander-Arnold. And the 2 players they should ignore this week and just completely ignore about is Wilfred Zaha and Odegaard. So that is the list. And yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed our picks, or let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have we left anyone out? Should we include anyone that maybe we've completely left out? So let us know what you guys think. We are going to come into your comments, guys, in a sec that we've left out as well. So that has been the list of players. So we're going to quickly bring up some comments that I missed, Jordan, that weren't related to the video, but we're going to answer them now.
Okay.
Brian says, "Hi lads, no sound. I'm in a restaurant, but very happy to be on Perisic from the start. Looking forward to listen to later." Well, yeah. Hopefully, when you see that back, you enjoy our picks and let us know what you think. Do drop a comment below, letting us know. But yeah, thank you for the comment, Brian.
Yeah.
Nanjay also says, "Hey guys, who's the most nailed Man City midfielder? I have Mahrez and need a replacement." Well, if I'm being honest, it's very hard to say a Man City midfielder is nailed because they all can rotate, and Pep, he does like to rotate a lot. But if I had to pick one, I'm going Foden. I know Gundogan's very popular, but I have a slight worry with Gundogan in minutes. Would he play every game? I think Foden is the one I'd go for. A bit of a differential as well. So yeah, for me, it's Foden. I'll let you
Yeah.
take the next comment, Jordan.
All Sports Adam says, "Hey evening fellas. I wish I could get Tony, but to upgrade Archer, I would need to take a -4, and not ready to do it."
What would you reckon? Would you bring
Um,
-4? I don't know if I'd take a hit though, if I'm being honest.
I
I don't
don't
know if I'd
quite
take a hit.
understand.
So he wants to bring in Tony for Archer,
Yeah.
but he needs to
Oh.
do a -4 to bring in Tony, basically. So
Oh, I see. Oh, well.
is Tony worth a -4? I'd probably say no. I'll probably just play. I mean, do you have to? So I'm guessing you have the formation change as well. So Yeah, maybe not ideal, if I'm being honest.
I mean, that's a difficult one because Brentford do have good, we say
Yeah,
good
they do.
for -4. It depends if Tony can
Yeah.
recover you from that -4. I think he can if you
He'll
hold
have
him
to
long
score.
term.
He'll have
Yeah,
to at least get a goal. So if you think he'll score against Everton, then yeah, bring him in. I think he's got Everton, hasn't he?
yeah. Brentford or Everton.
We also got Spaghetti and Beans. Is when is the perfect game week to use a wild card? I think game week 8, game week 9. When the international break, I believe, is after game week 8. So around, yeah, that's when we're probably more likely to use it. Obviously, nothing is set in stone yet, but yeah, around game week 9. Um, see any comments we missed out? Lucas as well says Wilson to Tony.
Oh,
I like Wilson if I'm being honest. I think
yeah,
Wilson looks good. I'm trying to quickly check his fixtures because he's just played Man City and he's got a goal against them as well. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'll be getting rid of him if I'm being honest.
No, I would have been getting rid of Wilson, especially scoring against Man City. I would want to keep him, just see what else he can do, especially with Newcastle, because it was a good game. Newcastle gave Man City.
Yeah, and
So
also they've got Wolves next. Maybe you want to keep him for Wolves. Wolves haven't been too great. I know they're quite good defensively. They don't concede many goals, but there's no reason why Newcastle can't get a goal, especially Wilson against Wolves. Maybe and get rid of him from game week 5 because game week 5 they have Liverpool. But now with the way Liverpool are playing, that could be a good fixture for Wilson as well. So I think Wilson is a very good pick. I'm not too fond of removing him if I'm being honest. I like him. Dominic George, welcome to the stream. He says, "Help! Should I sell Mendy for Sanchez for -4?" Nope,
no,
I wouldn't do it for a -4. Nope. The only time I really recommend you sell your goalie is in the situation where he's got suspension or something like that. Maybe it's worth taking -4. But who does Sanchez have?
um,
Brighton.
Brighton have
Let me just double check because they don't have a bad fixture, do they?
no.
Oh,
They
sorry,
have,
sorry. Who does no Mendy? So he
oh, they
said he
have
wants to
left.
sell Mendy. Mendy has a Leicester.
Yeah,
Now there's, I mean, maybe he doesn't keep a clean sheet there, but you look at the next 4. There is definitely going to be clean sheets coming up for Chelsea. But no, I don't like the fact. I don't think you should take a -4 for a goalie. No, because even if you did take the -4, and let's say Sanchez keeps a clean sheet, it's basically a 2-pointer anyway because you took the -4. So I don't think it's worth taking hits for goalies ever, pretty much. Elliot says my mobile network is bad. I'll have to catch the stream later. No worries, man. You can catch it later on the playback. All Sports Fan also says Kukurea 1 week punt replacement. Oh, okay. 0.5 in the bank. I have 2 free transfers, but I want to roll the other one. Neto, Pereira, Archer benched. I want to get another goalkeeper, but I have 2 Leicester ones. Oh,
oh,
so you want a 1 week punt for Kukurea? It's got to be Perisic, but I'd just keep Kukurea if I'm being honest. I think you just got to roll with it. And even if he doesn't really do anything against Leicester, it's just one of those. Like, I wouldn't be chasing Perisic yet. I think you could get away without Perisic even. I know I've put him on the buy, but if you bought Cucurella in already, you could just keep him for that one more week against Leicester. Because Leicester aren't great defensively, and you'd hope Chelsea can put a couple past them. But I'd probably look to keep him. Perisic is the one that I'd look to bring in if you don't have if you've got 0.5, probably Perisic.
yeah. I think it does depend on what Chelsea do against obviously Leicester in defence, especially with Koulibaly suspended. We have to really see how defensively Chelsea react to that and how they cope with Leicester. See if they can keep a clean sheet against them. I think that ultimately makes your choice easier. I think I just agree with Huss. I would keep Cucurella and see what he does against Leicester.
Yep, there you go. Also got Samyan official YT. Sorry for me not reading your comment out earlier. It's just got a few comments in. He says he's used his wild card to rate his team. So he's got Sanchez, he's got Cancelo, Perisic, Trent. Okay, so he played 3 at the back. And he's got Zaha, Martinelli, Salah, Rodrigo in the midfield, and he's gone Tony, Kane, Jesus up front. I like it, if I'm being honest. I do like it. I like the Tony up front with Kane and Jesus. Martinelli, yeah, Salah, Rodrigo also obviously he's doing very well. Good fixtures as well coming up for Leeds, and then defense. Obviously you've gone completely against what I've gone with because I've gone with five at the back, big at the back. You've gone very three at the back. So I don't hate the team. I like it. What do you think, Jordan, for the team?
Yeah, I think it's good with was that four in the midfield? Zaha, Martinelli, Salah,
Mm,
Rodrigo. Yeah, it's pretty good midfield you got there. I mean, you got the cover for Liverpool, Leeds, Arsenal, and Crystal Palace, and then
Tottenham as well.
you got the Tottenham cover up front and Brentford. So yeah, you're covering a lot of individual teams in that wild card, and they all have really good fixtures. Uh, yeah, they all have really good fixtures in the long term run. So yeah, it's a great wild card you got there.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, it's yeah, I do like it too.
Yep. I would back Jordan on that one. Also, guys, I just want to quickly say if you are just joining the stream, please do drop a like on the video. It really helps the channel out. So yeah, if you haven't already, do drop a like and also subscribe to our channel if you are new. Um, any more comments I've left out? Obviously I couldn't get every single one because there's quite a few. All sports fan Adam also says Rodrigo and Martinelli, Holt, Odegaard train. Oh yeah, that could be. That's fair to say. I'll say Martinelli definitely. Um, and Krogsberg also says you guys forgot to mention Rodrigo and Ward Prowse. Those players look dangerous, and Pascal Gross. Yeah, I mean we've mentioned Rodrigo. I do like Rodrigo as a pick. I maybe was slightly wrong on Rodrigo, but yeah, I think Lee's fixtures look really good, and he does look very appealing to owners to bring him in. His price has risen now, but I still think he's a good buy. So yeah, you're right there as well. He looks good. Ward Prowse, I need to see if he can keep it up. Is it consistent? Is it going to be as sustainable? Because Southampton don't look great to me. Pascal Gross is another one that I do like, though. To be fair, got another comment here from Marcel. Is it okay to play without Salah?
Oh,
Um, well, Salah has Bournemouth next at home. So I wouldn't be getting rid of Salah. If you have Salah already, I wouldn't be getting rid of him for Bournemouth because I think he's a potential captain option. I think he is a captain option actually for me. Anyway, you saw
yeah,
last night as well with Salah. Like he didn't have a great game. Man United played very well, but he somehow still scores.
yeah.
He can still do that.
Yeah, that's just literally proved our point from our past videos that despite Liverpool playing not the best, that's just an example of Salah can still score
Mm,
despite Liverpool not being the best. So yeah, that's the potential right there. It's point proven.
yeah.
I do think it's necessary not to have him, not or
Mm.
necessary to have him. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you can go without him, but you got to know the risks as well going out with a player that's that high owned, and he is captained most weeks, so you are going against the crowd with that one as well. So for me, no, I don't plan on getting rid of Salah anytime at all. For at least the next 4 or 5 game weeks when Liverpool's fixtures look very good. Sam Yam says, thanks, mate. Hoping for a better game week 4. Yeah, we're all hoping for a better game week 4. Game week 3 was terrible, as we know. I think I only got like 40 something points. I'll have to double check how many points I did get.
I
So
think
39 points for me with the hit because obviously I got 43, had a -4, so 39 points for me. And as you can see on the screen, my overall rank is sitting at 1.2 mil at the moment as well for anyone that has just joined.
mm,
So yeah, there
yeah,
you go.
I think Salah saved us kind of with that goal because we captained him obviously, so it wasn't as bad the rank when he
Mm.
did return in that game.
Oh yeah, it could have been worse if Salah blanked as well.
Yeah,
Could have been slightly worse. But yeah, there is always that worry, isn't it? But then
yeah,
I do believe this was a bad game week in general for a lot of managers, so I wouldn't be too hung up on it. I think next week as well, hopefully we get better returns. Game week 4 looks a lot better, a lot more home fixtures as well. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens next week. Um, but yeah, we'll have to discuss team selection as well. So we are back again on Thursday, guys. So do join us at 7 p.m. on Thursday, where we do go for a team selection video live as well. So every video we are live streaming. So do join us for 7 for our team selection. So yeah, just want to say that. And then any final comments? All sports fan Adam says if you captain Rodrigo 3 game weeks in a row compared to Salah, you'd be well off. Yeah, that is true. But I don't know many people that would be willing to do that. Captain over Salah with we so highly owned. Salah's had good fixtures as well, so it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Sam Yam also says, do you prefer Gundogan over Zaha? What do you reckon, Jordan? If you had to pick,
I mean, at the moment, they both look attractive in terms of they both got returns at the weekend. But if I had to choose, I do prefer Gundogan over Zaha, just because obviously Man City, the way he plays around Man City, it's like it's so easy for Gundogan to get a goal. I mean, it's never a challenge for him. He's got the quality, and he plays a high position in that midfield. And yeah, he is a goal threat like KDB and other such players. But
yeah,
yeah, compared to Zaha, he does have those, like as mentioned in the chat, hot spells. But with Gundogan, I feel like it's more consistent, and he can, I'll say, be a massive game changer when Man City need him to be.
yeah,
With Zaha, it's sometimes when he sometimes loses his temper and then potentially might get a yellow card or a red card and get
yeah.
sent off. He's just got like a emotional issue that Zaha has, but Gundogan's cold, collective, and he gets the returns easy with Man City.
Yeah, I like Gundogan as well. I'll probably go just Gundogan. I think City's fixes look good as well. Gundogan seems to start. Gundogan is, playing games and he's scoring goals. I like the fact that he does arrive late into the box and he does pick up goals, every now and then. So I like him. It's just, with Man City, there's always that worry of rotation. So I'd probably just go Zaha, but not this game week. Obviously, I'd wait till game week 5.
Yeah.
All sports fan Adam says, "Great stream, guys. Peace. Take care, all."
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
Adam.
watching. We really appreciate your contribution to the chat and everything. Sherwin says, "Loving the shirt, Jordan."
Oh, thank you, Sharon.
Assuming he's a United fan as well.
Yeah, we had a good day.
Yeah, Krogsberg also says, "What you guys think about Haaland rotation risk?" Yeah, we haven't really discussed this much. Maybe we'll quickly discuss it now. I think he is a slight rotation risk as well because Pep did come out after the game and he said Haaland isn't going to play every game. He said something like, "When we have a game every 3 days, Haaland isn't guaranteed to play all of them. We have Julian Alvarez, so that does slightly worry me. In game week 5, maybe we could be tempted to take out Haaland for a Harry Kane or someone like that. So we will speak about that more. But he is one to definitely look out on. Pep's comments do look a bit worrying, should I say the least. But I think for the next game week 4 against Bournemouth, it's hard to transfer out. Not Bournemouth, sorry. Who do Man City have in game week 4?
Man City have Crystal Palace.
Palace. You keep him for Palace, and then you'll have to and reassess there. I think we'll keep Haaland now, and then we'll reassess after that. But yeah, it is a slight worry after Pep's comments that he's not always going to play when Man City have a game every 3 days. Sam Yam says Perisic over Saliba. I'd say so, probably, yeah, just because of the attacking potential of Perisic. He can get hauls. But if you want to play a bit more safe and you're not too bothered about, the hauls and you just want someone that's going to play every week now, you seem Saliba's nailed. So at 4.6 million to get an Arsenal player that's playing well, got good fixtures, I'm not against Saliba either. It's just if you are willing to take that bit of a risk, Perisic is one that I do like, and he's one I'm looking at myself. Jordan, I'll let you take this comment as well.
Belmister says, "What do you guys think is better, Trippier, Walker, or Perisic?"
I'm going to assume you mean for the next 4 or 5 games. If I had to pick, if I'm being honest, if I still had to pick in a rank, I'd probably go Walker, just because of clean sheets. I just feel like Man City are more likely to keep a clean sheet than Spurs and Newcastle. I know Walker's attacking potential isn't there. So I'd go with Walker and then probably Perisic and then Trippier. What do you think, Jordan?
I'll probably go with. I'll probably say Walker, and then probably
You
Trippier. I might just budge to Trippier and then have Perisic last.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Obviously, I know you like Trippier, and he
Yeah.
must be a bit annoying, isn't it? Because
Oh yeah,
you
it's
take him
annoying.
out and then he bangs in that free kick.
I was like, that's going in. When I saw that free kick, I thought, yeah, that's Trippier all over that. You just saw it as he walked up today. He's banging that in the goal.
All right, yeah. If you could take a few of the more of the comments, Jordan, if you can.
Yeah, Krogspur says, is Salah a must cap this game week? I would say so, yeah. With the fixture Liverpool have, he's probably got the best fixture with the best premium that you could captain. I think he'd be highly captained. His effective ownership would be through the roof. But I think also Jesus one might rival that with Fulham that Arsenal have. But I do think Salah will be the most captained easily this month. Not this month, this game week. Sorry,
Yeah,
with
nice, right?
Anfield, with Liverpool home as well, and Arsenal play away. That home advantage too might have the
Yeah.
edge.
If you're asking me as well, I think Salah. Well, he's not a must captain. It's up to you. You don't have to go with Salah. If you don't want to, but he does have Bournemouth at home, and I think Bournemouth have conceded 4 to Man City, 3 to Arsenal, and I think Liverpool, as bad as they are right now, I still believe they should put a couple past Bournemouth. So I'm still going Salah. I do like Jesus against Fulham, but Fulham for me are still they played a bit decent this season, so they caused Liverpool a bit of trouble. So I wouldn't be as confident as Salah against Bournemouth. And then yeah, I think Salah is for me the obvious captain pick for me. I'm not going for anyone else. For me, it's already locked in. If I'm being honest with you guys, so I
Yeah,
don't want to bore you guys with the captain pick on my team selection, but it will probably be Salah.
yeah.
Spaghetti and Beans says, apart from Saka, which 8 million midfielder under should I go for? Um,
Um,
Jordan.
well, for me, I think that's easier. If you don't have him, I'll probably say Luis Diaz
Mm,
because I'm a big fan of Luis Diaz and he's in my team and he has Bournemouth home. So with that fixture and with his price is 8 mil still, he hasn't risen or dropped. I do think he's a must have, or if you
yeah.
want him in your team, obviously for the Bournemouth home fixture, if you don't have him already, I would say Luis Diaz personally.
Yeah, I probably agree there. Under 8 million. I mean, around the 8 million mark is Luis Diaz. Obviously, if you want to go cheaper, I like Martinelli, as I mentioned a lot as well. So, yeah. Rodrigo, if you want to go 6 million as well. But obviously, I said which 8 million midfield. I thought you said under 8 million. So, yeah, 8 million for me is Diaz, man. I think you've got to go Diaz probably at this rate. But yeah, we'll be wrapping the video up soon. We've got a show in here. He says, thanks, guys. Keep up the good work. This channel will grow. Thank you, mate. Really
Thanks, Sharon.
appreciate that. We appreciate all your comments, and yeah, let's see where it can go. But thank you for the comment, and yeah, we appreciate the support. But yeah, Jordan, we've been streaming for about an hour, so
Yeah,
we'll wrap it up now. This has been the the transfer tips video. We hope you guys have enjoyed. Do let us know what you think of all our picks, whether you agree with us or disagree with us. Do let us know in the comments. And also, after you watch this, do go back on the video and do drop a comment because it helps with the algorithm or with the way YouTube works. So, also, guys, just going to check how many likes the video has. If you haven't liked the video already, do please drop a like. And also, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone that subscribed to us today. All the new subscribers, thank you, and also the old subscribers from day one. Thank you to you guys as well. We've got more comments coming in before I just about to wrap up. Michael, good evening. He says, and he says, what about Kulu? I like Kulu. I think, yeah, I like him. If I had him, I'd probably hold him. If I'm being honest, I think he's one of those
yeah,
you should probably hold.
yeah,
If
definitely.
if you didn't have him, I think you could. I wouldn't be bringing him in probably, but if I had him, I'd probably hold him. If he's one of those type of transfers, I think. Krogsberg says, when is the best to go against the crowd to win the most points? I mean, it's very hard to say because a lot depends on double game weeks and if there's an injury, maybe there's another player we know that's going to play. It's question's quite hard to answer. Maybe we'll make a video on this separately. Um,
Yeah, I'll say maybe one way is going with a different captain that no one really
yeah,
is going to pick in terms of effective ownership because you would say Salah's going to be very highly owned in Game Week 4 because of Bournemouth, but you could go for Harden who has Crystal Palace, which whereas not a lot of people will go for that captaincy pick.
yeah. I mean, it's hard to say when's the best time. I don't think there's a there's like a one moment in time where this is the time. I mean, it could be any time across the season, literally. I mean, obviously, a lot of it is when you play your chips. I think when you play your chips is basically when you are going against the crowd, because you have an advantage that not many other managers will play the chip. So I think chip usage is probably the time when you play a free hit, maybe go against the crowd with your free hit picks or something. And I think that those are the moments where you can kind of get ahead of your mini rivals in the league. A few more comments coming in. Do you think Bernardo will start against Crystal Palace? I honestly don't have a clue at this rate. Probably, we hope so. If for Bernardo owners anyway, I honestly don't know.
No,
I think it could be anything.
He did score though, so maybe.
Yeah, Michael Parker's also, obviously Kulusevski. We like him, definitely. If you have him already, I think he's a hold personally.
Yeah,
because Tottenham do have a decent fixture as well, don't they?
Yeah, they have a decent fixture against. They have Nottingham Forest.
But yeah, that is it. We are going to wrap it up now. Michael Parker says, "Is it free to enter your mini league?" Yep, it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
As always, the code is on the screen, Michael. So do join our league if you haven't already. It is B54P68. There's also an auto join link in the description below. So do just click that and it will automatically join you into our league. So the comments are in the description below. So do check that out after the stream ends. But that is it from us, guys. Just want to say a big thank you to everyone that has watched this video. And again, as always, thank you for watching. And we'll be back on Thursday for another video. And that will be the team selection for Game Week 4. So that's it from the FPL Duo. I just want to say a big thank you. And yeah, take care, guys. And we hope to see you on Thursday.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Take care and see you Thursday for the team selection.
Peace.